Hello and welcome to Connecting Jewish Grandparents, the Grand Plan podcast, where together we work on creating joyous Jewish legacies, empowering to be the grandparent we want to be. I usually make this about the weekly Torah portion and how it relates to us, but it's Hanukkah. So today's podcast instead will be about Hanukkah. And when I was planning this, I was thinking about the joy of Hanukkah, right? I talk about joyful Jewish grandparenting all the time, but I'm not feeling joyous right now. The current events are heart-wrenching. And so to say, yay, joyous, everything's wonderful, is dishonest to me. And if you are not feeling the pain of this, don't feel guilty. I'm not trying to make you. Um, I used to live in Australia. I loved my life there and I felt very safe there. And seeing how much the world has changed is hard for me. It is, I don't want to continue on that topic. But here's the thing. When I'm thinking, well, Hanukkah, it's going to be joyous. The idea of Hanukkah, the festival of lights, is that the lights are joyous within darkness. If you look at the history of Hanukkah, that's what it's about. It wasn't like, hey, let's make a happy day that came from nothing. It was that, depending on which miracle you want to look at, either the darkness of fighting against the Hellenistic Greeks and that battle and standing up for what you believe in and a war that's just incredible darkness. And yes, the few defeated the many and we were victorious, but a war is not something that we ever find joy in. Never in Jewish life do we say, yes, we have had a war, even when we are victorious. It's not something that we celebrate for the war itself. So if we look at the other miracle, that the flask of oil lasted not for one day, but it glowed for 8 days. That is exactly what it is. That in a place of otherwise darkness, we have found a light. And we have found something to appreciate and enjoy, and that joyous glow of light. And so the pain and working through the pain to find a place of joy is exactly what Hanukkah is about. Now, hopefully, you're not in any place of pain. We can go on that premise, absolutely, and I hope that that is the situation for you. But regardless, the superpower of grandparents is providing that consistency, providing that light, that glow of comfort, no matter what the situation is. So it could be joyous and it could be painful. But as the matriarch, the patriarch, the bubby or the zaidi or the nona or whoever you are, what you provide, the tone you set, and the consistency with which you give it, that is the light that the family carries. You are the shamash, and what glow you provide illuminates the others. We talk about grand plan, and we talk about me helping you and coaching you in this process. But right now, I just want to talk what you're going to do. Sure, if you want to do coaching with me, yes, show notes. Let's connect. Let's do it. But in this time on this podcast, let's plan what you are going to do to make Hanukkah meaningful. So first, you got your time frame. Great. What is it that you are going to provide in that time frame? Are you going to get to see your grandchildren? I hope that you will. If you live geographically close to them, I hope that there'll be at least one time when you're together. So if that's what's going to happen, then let's talk about one of our favorite topics of food. Obviously, you can do all of the famous Hanukkah foods and fry it up and enjoy the livy boat, the latkes, and the jelly donuts and all of that. Or if you have your own beautiful tradition of fried foods of buñuelo or sfinge or whatever. Amazing, and I'm sure your grandchildren will love it. But it's still about that consistency. It doesn't have to be the oily food, but it has to be that food that the grandchildren are excited they're going to have at your house. Doesn't have to be chocolate coins for sure. They're going to get those everywhere. What are they going to get from you that feels good? What is it that you can provide them that's warm and glowing and safe? That's that is your superpower. That is what you are going to be giving them in food if you get to see them. I hope you do. If it is only remotely that you're able to see them, so figure out how often and in what ways you're going to connect. Is it that you're going to be at their candle lighting? They're going to be at your candle lighting if you're not in the same time zone. So you do a shared lighting at least once over Hanukkah so that you can find that connection around the real flames of Hanukkah. What about the music? I think Hanukkah's got the best soundtrack of any Jewish holiday. And you can go on historical or, singing Maod Tzor and the traditional songs of the festival, or in Hebrew, there's lots of youthful songs, or I have a little dreidel, any of those. And you have also all the very modern Maccabeats and 613. There's a lot of good music. What's going to resonate with your grandchildren? Can you send them some tracks? It's a wonderful and fun way to connect. I will mention presents because it would be silly not to, but I want to make it clear that that should not be the number one source of joy for your grandchildren from you. Because if we're talking about you being that pillar of light and that consistency, presents are the most, I mean, depending on the grandchild and depending on what the present is, it is the most or the least lasting item. Obviously, if you have a plan and you got tickets to see something together with your grandchildren, that is amazing. Those experiences you're going to have together, or something that they've really needed and worked for and wanted, or whatever that is, that is something that is lasting, then do it. But if it's just one more of something they have so many of, shame. Although one of you have so many more of if it's a book. So there's value to that, especially if you're going to read it too and talk to them about it. So I guess that's really the note on a gift is find a gift with which you are able to connect with your grandchildren even more. We'll go with that. And then what about the stories? We're talking about connecting. Like, what are the stories or the rituals? What else can you do that makes a Hanukkah ritual special between you and them? Something that's going to last. Or be joyous, or maybe be silly, or serious. Is it a text you're going to share, or is it every day you will have another joke? Is it Mad Libs? Is it, right? Is it going to be ridiculous, or joyous, or wonderful? You know who your grandchildren are. How are you going to give them the light of joy this year? No matter else, what else is going on, if they feel joy everywhere, or if they're feeling pain, how are you going to be that light for them? I'm talking about all the different things you can do. I also have in the show notes my Hanukkah activity kits. I think they're really fun. My students enjoy doing them, but we don't do the guiding question page. On each page, there is uh, a, I'm forgetting the word right now, a prompt for you to discuss with them, for them to discuss with you, a way to be connecting even more with your grandchildren while they're doing fun activities. It's geared for like, oh, 4 to 8 year olds, something like that. Um, so grab that freebie in the show notes as one more way that you can be connecting and enjoying your grandchildren this Chanukah season. And it's my bracha to you that for this 8 days, you are able to see the light within the darkness, to find the joy, and to spread that light and that joy, no matter how dark it might be. Chanukah Sameach.